We got a big one today. Hey everybody, welcome to Superhuman Customs. I'm Stephen Human, and this week we're going to turn this Overtkill from Spawn that I was able to find at a Ross for $6, mega figure, $6, and we're going to make him a Stel Green Lantern figure. Now, Stel is a robot Green Lantern. He's a lesser known Green Lantern, but there's been toys of him before, and sometimes they've been regular size, sometimes they've been oversized. He's a robot, you can get away with that. So we're going to turn him into Stel. We're going to milliput all in here. We're going to milliput the head. We're going to make him into a big, giant green robot. And it's going to be awesome. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
Stel has honestly been on the back burner for weeks and weeks now. Months, actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm very excited to get this guy done. I'm going to take milliput, and I'm just going to cross here. I added a little bit of glue, but I actually ran out of super glue. So hopefully this will work well without. And I'm going to go, because he's got the version that I'm kind of going off of, he's got kind of like plates going across his chest. And I've taken milliput and I've rolled it out. And I'm just adding these like so that we can begin to add that part to him. So I'm just going to put these in place now and start molding them into place so they look more like plates. So that's what we're going to do, and then we'll do his head. We got a whole chunk of milliput here ready to go, all the rest that I have left, and we will see what we got here in a few minutes. So now I'm going to concentrate on the head. I'm going to try and get some thin pieces here, and as you can see kind of back here, oh, it was up. That's kind of what I'm going for. And I think this is going to look pretty good. Oh, I got some paint on it. And as always with the milliput, it never looks quite right when you're putting it on, but after you got it going, it can look pretty dang good. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on for the next little bit. So now I'm just using different tools to mold in everything. And I've used basically just the bottoms of some of these to kind of create some of the templates for the circle and stuff. Again, if I wanted it always to be perfect, then I would 3D print all of this stuff. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, 3D print everything, you get a really perfect symbol and all of that. But that's not me, so I'm going to mold it in, and it won't quite be perfect, but I'm okay with that. So you just need to figure out what you're okay with. What makes you happy, what your level of quality is, and then stick with it and don't apologize for it. If it's perfection, then it's perfection, and don't apologize for that perfection. And if it's not perfection, then don't apologize for not being perfect. Just try and get the symbol in. Just using this to push right in the slots there. And I take my silver right here, and I'm going to put the center in and pull it out. And I'll probably need to shove it in there a little more, twist it around a little bit. All right, not bad. Again, not perfect, but we'll try and get it as close as we can so that it looks passable. And then we'll call it. And we'll spray paint him jet black, prime him up, and that will give us a really good feel for how this guy is going to look as Stel, the Green Lantern.
All right, I am excited for this, because after this, he's really going to take on the look that we want. He's no longer going to be Overtkill, he's just going to be Stel.
So I've taken these pauldrons from my leftover Carapax figures, and we've added those on, along with a little detail here in the middle in his chest plate. And we spray painted everything. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go over with a dark green, just a Vallejo paint, dark green. And that's going to be our base for all of this stuff for Stel. And we're just going to start going over. I'm using a big brush to get things moving. And I'm going to hit all of these upper areas. So all of this right here, all of these things. And I'm going to leave all this, the rest of it black, so that it can have the contrast that we want. So that's going to be the next little bit. It's going to take a little while. But it's going to be fun because it's going to change the character pretty dramatically. Obviously, this is a very dark green, and so you want to go over it maybe twice just to see how it kind of turns out. You can see with the rest of the body, it's turning green. But of course, we're going to lighten this up a little bit once we've got all this covered. I'm going to do a little dry brush of a lighter green, and then we're going to go over it with the metallic. So just get it covered and make it so that it's looking the way that you kind of want it. Get the edges, and then we'll do some dry brushing here in just a minute. All right, now I'm going to take a lighter green, and I'm just going to dust over the top. And all this is going to do is lighten it up enough that it will make the green stand out a little bit more. And this is just going to be sort of our cover anyway, because we're going to go over here in a few minutes, once this is dry, with our metallic. And so this is to give it just another layer of goodness. And so it doesn't need to be a lot of paint. I mean, look, I haven't even replaced any more on here. And it's going on just fine. At this point, I'll need some more. But yeah, we're just going to go through like that and get us moving. Before I get into the metallic of the greens, I want to add a little bit of metallic here. Now, all I'm doing is just dry brushing on some gunmetal gray. That's it. Getting a little tiny bit on the brush, and I'm just hitting these edges. That's all. I want to get everything that's black so that it's got a little bit more of a metallic to it, but not a lot. Just enough that it catches the light. I'm going to go over all the black with this, and that's going to be it. And it's really going to do a lot. I might add some silver highlights in here and there, but I think this is going to be enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and, as carefully as possible, remove this Green Lantern symbol from this Dawnbreaker, and I'm going to glue it to Stel, and it's going to become his symbol, because I'm turning this guy into Metron, and Metron does not have a Green Lantern symbol on his chest. So let's see. Ooh, hopefully we got it. Oh, look at that. We got it. Let's glue it in place. This guy is coming together really nicely, and now it's time for the metallic green. Just like always with these metallics, I'm just going to do a light coat. I'm going to try and have every brush stroke go in the same direction so that it gives it that sort of metallic brushed look. And you can see how well that green turned out. That's actually a neon green I've noticed with my lights on, my black lights on. And it looks really, really good under the black light. So Dawnbreaker obviously doesn't need it because he's going to be Metron in an upcoming episode. And so Stel is going to get it. And it's nice to have a perfect Green Lantern symbol for this guy. Oftentimes I have to form them, out of different stuff. It's nice to have one that's just straight up perfect. And we'll just move through, get the metallics in place, get this guy looking amazing. Now, some versions of Stel have like white accents and things like that. What I've decided to do is I'm just going to do some silver accents in here. Just going to hit a couple of areas where it's just got some silver to just help things stand out a little bit more. I don't want to go with the white because I'd have to paint some of this white. It just wouldn't look normal with how this guy looks. And so that's what I'm doing. This I'm just doing for my own personal taste, just to make it so that this guy looks a little bit different and not just straight green. The funny thing is that looking up pictures of Stel online, there's like 40 different versions of him, which means you can get away with doing a lot of stuff. What I'm doing now is just going through with some silver, just a dry brush a little bit, hitting some of these edges. It'll help to highlight the metallic and give him just a little bit more of a natural sheen. I don't want it to hit too much, but I do want it to catch some of these edges, as always. And it'll just make him look a little bit more real. Because even though he's a Green Lantern, he's still going to have some rubbing areas where the green's going to get nicked and stuff, and that's what we want to add. And if you want to go through with a little bit thicker stuff on some of these edges, like that they've been dinged a little bit more, then just feel free. I found that it always adds a nice contrast to things and makes them look just a little bit more worn. Now, in order to really get him to pop, we need to put on our green shade so that he can match all of the other Green Lanterns. Because we want him to really just pop. And this is going to do it. You guys have seen this before when I add this to everything. And it just absolutely makes these guys look incredible. So there we go. A little bit goes a long way. And just get it on all these metal pieces. And then we're going to add a little bit of glow in the dark. And our Stel will be complete. Last but not least, we are going to put in some glow in the dark paint in all these key areas, over the eyes, here in the center. And I'm going to do a couple of things here just along some of these areas, just to add some texture. And I think that this guy is going to look awesome.
Stel. I think this guy turned out pretty great. And the great thing about Stel is that there are so many designs of him that you can basically do whatever you want. Like just when I was looking at pictures of him, every different version of DC Comics, like every different reboot they've done, had a totally different version of Stel. One of them, he had like the like 1960s vacuum cleaner arms, and then others were more detailed and more robotic, and that was great because then I was able to just kind of make my own version of Stel using the parts that I wanted to use, and he's going to look great on the Green Lantern shelf. Check this out. This is what he looks like under the black light. So you can see that he glows, and with this setup that I've got here, when I turn on the black lights, he's going to look amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, give me your tips. Get out there and have fun. Make just some crazy stuff. Just find some figures and do something nuts just like this, because it's a heck of a lot of fun. I'm Stephen Human. Check out StephenHuman.com for all of your sci-fi thriller needs. If you guys love books, I'm the guy to go to, StephenHuman.com. And you can go to Quimbleys.com as well, because I work with Quimbleys and they produce board games, particularly Cthulhu Wars and Planet Apocalypse and all that sort of stuff. We have new games coming out all the time. So check that out. I'm Stephen Human, and I will see you guys next week.